More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat-trick home on a big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around. Seat in the house, courtside or on the couch, we still get loud.
Our trip around the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League takes us to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena this evening, where the Six Nations Arrows host Kitchener-Waterloo, and our latest edition of If the Playoffs Started Today, this would be a first-round matchup. Matthew Carrick in with the JVI Sports Network and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League as we get set for action today. 3 games in the league. We're going to keep our eye on Burlington in Peterborough and Brampton in St. Catharines as well, both just about to get started here, and this is a big one, especially for Six Nations as we look at the standings. They are tied right now with Whitby with 8 wins, and you can see the logjam in behind for Kitchener-Waterloo with 4. The Mimico Mountaineers right behind, Burlington as well. They're in action tonight. Brampton, as we said, St. Catharines. Could be a whole lot of movement on this board before tonight ends. But as I said, our game tonight features the Six Nations Arrows, who will turn to Sugga Thompson in net. Off to our left, you see him down the floor there. White uniforms with orange trim for the Arrows. And the black uniforms with purple numbers off the visitors bench for Kitchener-Waterloo. Some heavy rain in the area earlier today has actually closed a bunch of roads in the area. So some of the KW players who were coming in on their own had a bit of trouble, but everybody seems to be here and ready as the opening faceoff is underway, and in the stick of the Arrows, Dalen John Hill. Sending it through, McKay Jimerson to the far side. John Hill back again, closing in on 10 on his shot clock as they play it back up top. Working his way through traffic was Tryson Sunday before the twist shot bounced off Zach Richards. Big acquisition for KW in last year's trade deadline. Graduating player, and he would look real enticing here in a couple days for some team. See if KW decides to make a push or not. That shot off the post, back in front, Tryson Sunday. That time Richards made one heck of a stop. Dalen John Hill and Tryson Sunday, 42 goals between them. That's almost 40% of the entire team total for the Arrows on the season. KW getting their first set. Already a delayed penalty is Chris Rathwell will shoot from up top. John Vandergiesen with the call. I think it's too many men. And that indeed is going to be the case against Six Nations. So KW getting the first power play of the evening. And the Dalen John Hill fans are back in the chat as they normally are when we do these live games. It'll be the Arrows killing off a penalty though. James Donnelly. Rathwell out from the corner, back up top. Donnelly straight down the pipe, and Thompson crouches in to make the save. Louis Alfred Jr., late draft pick of the Halifax Thunderbirds in last year's draft. Jogs it up, leaves for Doug Thompson. He'll put it all the way back up top for Dalen John Hill. Spinning back is Thompson again. Fires off the end boards. Cal Brennan looked like he was going to kill out that shot clock, but just waiting for empty space so he could pick the ball up. Halfway through this minor penalty, Rathwell to the shooter spot this time with Donnelly taking top marker. Crashing in was Frateroli. Back through to Brennan. Up top once again, Rathwell. Excuse me, that was Max Frateroli. Rathwell has it here after the reset. Donnelly. Frateroli into the corner. Lots of movement on the ball. It ends with Donnelly faking high, going low, and Thompson there with him. Kenny Porter. To Kian Pare. 20 seconds to go here in the penalty as it's played to the outside. Noah Snyder. His lane to the net cut off by this KW defense. And General Manager Doug Arthur telling us before the game that has been the real strong point of this team has been KW's defense and holding teams. Detweiler backpedaling in, playing back to Cal Brennan now. Brennan wheels over the top. Lots of movement as it comes back to Detweiler, and his shot right off the back of Becker. Detweiler then overran it. Blaze Becker straight into it, down for transition, and Wales Reset was right on the crease. Couldn't find it with a pass. Reset ran through the crease, so played back here by KW and their captain Rathwell. Bouncing around. He'll come all the way up top to Donnelly. Outside. Big jab step before Rathwell gets the pass and takes a quick shot. Thompson there to meet that. 4 minutes gone so far in this first period. Aubrey Tall Chief. Hands off to Joe Squire. Arrows continue to work the ball through as the offense takes the floor down from the corner, looking to return to Squire. Bounced off his arm and down, and KW off to the races. Had Ryder Haynes behind everybody. It's Reese DeChico. That will leave for Frateroli. Brendan Marino. To Malachi Good off the bench. Barker, far side, brought down by Frateroli. He'll spin back. In the middle, Nolan Barker. Not sure he was really aware that that ball was as close to grabbing it as he thought. Pare in transition now. To Dalen John Hill. He'll stop up quickly. The ball moves into the corner. No shot. And then it is taken from Snyder off the crossbar. Bounces right back to Snyder. Dalen John Hill. Big screen in front by Sunday, who then rolls off. It goes to the net and scores. Big screen coming up here. Little pick and roll action from Dalen John Hill. And so grab an assist. Normally the offensive-minded Dalen John Hill, but passes off this time, and it's in the back of the net. Joe Columbus securing the face-off for KW. 1-0 here in Six Nations. The Arrows, the early lead. McKay Jimerson plays it out to the boards. Ball pops out of the stick of Tryson Sunday. Squire was on the crease, just missed that pass. As now it's going to come back again to Hodo Martin. Sunday from the corner. Richards stands his ground as that was a bad angle. KW the rebound. Haynes. Got it close to the center line, but not over as Rathwell had to take the long route thanks to Becker, and only 8 seconds allowed to get over half, and they didn't do it. Dalen John Hill. Cutting through, low shot there, down to meet it was Richards. He'll hang on for the save. Bouncing ball back in the Arrows' end. Across to Ben Wittich. He'll leave it back near center. Cross again to Joe Squire. Sunday circling back from behind the net, cut through, and it's in. There was a holding penalty coming, so a couple arms in the airs for the officials, but relatively pretty one for Tryson Sunday. By the way, Chaz Hill picked up the first goal. Another screen. And working around it, drawing the penalty and scoring, Tryson Sunday. Two 2-0 early lead for the Arrows. We showed you the standings board earlier on. Are right there with Whitby, who are off this evening, but will be back in action tomorrow. An 8-goal performance last night from Lucas Littlejohn, career high for him, and Gatorade Player of the Week honors. Outside shot bounces off the foot of Thompson, goes back cross center. Aubrey Tallchief couldn't corral it cleanly, then back to Porter. That was close to the over and back line. Porter to Hill. Chaz Hill in front, off the stick of Squire. He ran through the crease. Officials didn't catch it. Squire back to the far side. Chaz Hill fell back on the outside. The long range rip from Noah Snyder hit a body and went up out of play. Snyder to the outside. Around the back pass. Flies back to the corner, picked up by Dalen John Hill. Another one that Squire can't bring down. It's been in the right spot about 4 or 5 times today, and just offense, I'm unable to find the pocket of the stick. Rathwell tripped up as he came across the restraining line. Ball rolls away back to Wales. Reset in transition. Shot Richards. Few cheers from the crowd, but it was underneath the big KW netminder. Graham Crowder bringing it up to center. Another night where I said if the playoffs started today, this would be a first-round matchup. Another night where we have brothers contesting against each other. Graham Crowder wearing number 7 for KW. Griffin Crowder, number 28 for Six Nations. Not just brothers, twin brothers. Frateroli bombs it back into Six Nations end. Dalton Kane there for the interception. He'll leave to Doug Thompson. Frateroli had been stuck out there, but the cycling by the Arrows allows him to get off. Rolls away from Snyder. Back up top, Jimerson's shot hits the glass. Shot clock down to 5 as it's picked up again by Dalen John Hill. Bad angle. Not going to beat the clock. Handful of seconds away from the halfway mark now of this first period. Galen John Hill already with a pair of assists. Wants the goal now, perhaps. Stuffed by high pressure first from DeCiccio, and then ball skips away, and Gaden Berger will bring it across the line. Marino. Heads up over on the bench, Stu Montour. Getting out of the way as that one was missed its mark, and big slash on the arm of Marino, well behind the play. Wales were set and headed off for a slash here, and KW headed to their second power play. Keep your eye on these two as they go their separate ways. The retaliation penalty going to get called every single time. Donnelly and Rathwell to start this second KW power play. Little look behind the net as they walk it through. Frateroli had to deal with a couple sticks swinging in his direction, as now errant pass picked up by the Arrows. 9 minutes left in our first period. Porter across the line. Plays it back to Hodo Martin coming off the bench. Arrows need one more. Hodo Martin to a cutting Tryson Sunday. The patience there got Richards down. Then the shot went just high over top. Sunday back at the ball carrier, close to the over and back line. It's going to roll out of his stick, and it does. Turn into a possession back the other way. Race Weiss disagrees, but play will stick here with KW in the back half of this, their second power play of the period. Brennan, back door, had to settle it down, and Thompson can't get over in time. Even on the broken play, big fake back down to the crease, and they come across to score. That'll cut the lead in half. By the way, Burlington up 1-0 on Peterborough early doors there, as well as St. Catharines 3-1 on Brampton. Cal Brennan, not quite the anytime goal that's been posted in the chat, but the assist on the power play. As time ticks down, under 8 to go in the period. Donnelly back across to Barker. He'll find a man, far corner. Shooting and scoring, we're all tied up. Brendan Marino finding the mark and getting it through Thompson. A lot of work done by Barker, and then the big fake from Marino the outside, and that's one that I think Sugga Thompson would like to have back, as it ties the game at 2, back-to-back goals here for KW. Seven and a half to go in the period. Squire. Galen John Hill. John Hill, initial shot wide. Second chance on target, but handled by the stick of Richards. DeCiccio. Back to Brennan. Outside. Rathwell. Still with it as he rolls through the arrow zone. Rathwell out of the corner. Shot just beats the clock. And now Rathwell with it again. Sticks out on the KW bench in support of the extended possession here. Brennan. From Rathwell all the way up top to Donnelly. Now far side through Brennan again. Cutting through Frateroli. Big fake and then tried to put it over top of Thompson, who stands tall. Arrows have it to the far side. Martino stands up Sunday. Played back to Hodo Martin, looking to go to Trison Sunday again on the far side. And this time Martino is going to intercept and still with it as he fights through checks and high steps his way over center. Seth Martineau, one of just 5 graduating players on this KW roster. Returning here to Detweiler. Bouncer far side, Donnelly with it. Long range shot. Thompson hangs on as it's played back up. And over center quickly in the stick of Dalton Kane. Dalen John Hill to the outside. Return back. And now lowering the shoulder and shooting is Jimerson. That one met by Richards. And DeCiccio will bring it all the way up. Switches hands, takes the shot, and that one fooled Thompson, but remained in the crease. Blaze Becker dropping it off here for Martin. Down the boards, halfway through the shot clock. Wales Reset bouncing around outside. Reset back to Chaz Hill. Shot off Richards. Rebound picked up by KW. Running the near boards, Berger. Waits for Detweiler. Now Marino. Back towards the far corner. Big jab step from Malachi Good. He played back to Rathwell behind his back. In on goal, this score. Keegan Detweiler gives KW the lead. They've got 3 straight after a lot of work done here by Rathwell. He's going to carry the ball up top and gets dumped after the fact, but right in on the doorstep, Detweiler. Barker controlling the face-off now for KW. Close to the 8-second count, and Berger arguing. Porter trying to get the quick restart as that conversation was ongoing.
Third goal, scored by number 16, Keegan Detweiler. This is by number 19, Chris Bradwell, and number 2,
Squire. His shot off the leg of, I believe, Caden Berger. Berger going to hobble his way off, feeling that one as Haynes brings it up. Haynes from Marito. Frateroli. Leaving it with Brennan. Outside shot. At any time, Brennan goal. Probably a good bet. 11 of them on the season as he puts it back down to the crease. Chris Rathwell got dumped again after shooting right on the doorstep of Thompson. Brennan, Rathwell, Frateroli, and Donnelly. Four players in double digits in goals. Outside shot, bouncer, and Doug Thompson. Back down on the doorstep again, Chaz Hill. Right in front of Richards, who made the stop. Martin can't keep Columbus on the KW side of half. So now Detweiler will get it with 2.5 to go here in the first. 3-2 lead for KW. Rathwell, far side. Donnelly, jab step, pulls out onto the crease for Rathwell, and quick stick knocked him off balance, and he lands in the crease. Squire. Far side, Noah Snyder will slow things down. Dalen John Hill from the outside. Not sure that hit Richards. They don't reset the shot clock as Trison Sunday comes in and is in the crease. And we get another penalty here. John Vandergeesen calling the cross check. First penalty of the game coming to KW, despite Martineau's protests. Martineau in the bright red shoes. Didn't look like there was much there as the cutter went to the net, but it is the first power play of the game for the Arrows. Squire working it through. Had a wide open look and just missed. Here's Jimerson. Dalen John Hill. Hodo Martin. John Hill, quick ball movement again, and this time it pops out the back of the stick of Martin, who will then drop his man going for the loose ball. Berger. To Rathwell. Rathwell, another hard collision. Uses the glass to get it to Malachi Good. And now Rathwell again into the last minute here of the period. Only 5 to shoot for Brennan. I'm not sure that he realizes it. And now does, and we'll just dump it on the empty floor. 52 seconds left in the period. A minute left to go in the power play. The first one of the game for the Arrows. Hodo Martin. Bouncer to Dalen John Hill. Inside the line, McKay Jimerson. John Hill will go back to the X position behind the net. Jimerson. Sunday. Hard rip off the boards. Picked up by KW. And 30 left to go as Martin, was about to take off. Will Peschening had the stop sign up. Over on the bench. KW can kill the period out, but not if the ball goes the way of the Arrows, which it does. Trison Sunday quickly pushes it. Dalen John Hill all by himself, though, with only 5 seconds left to go in the period. Shoots around a screen and cleanly caught in the big stick of Zach Richards, and that will take us to our first intermission break. Check the out-of-town scores. Burlington in Peterborough. That game started just about the same time as ours. 3-3 the score there. 5-1 the St. Catharines Athletics on top of the Brampton Excelsiors. And 3-2 here, Kitchener-Waterloo leading the Six Nations Arrows. Our next game.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Hydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back live at the ILA, where we had 5 goals, an early start from Six Nations. Here's Dalen John Hill to Chaz Hill on the doorstep. The Arrows would strike first and eventually go up 2-0 here, with Tryson Sunday drawing a penalty and scoring. Seen that move from him more than a couple times this season. Then it was KW's turn. They'll go on a run of 3 goals here, starting with the quick stick to the back door. Malachi Good breaking the ice for KW. And Chris Rathwell going to pay the price. Excuse me. This is the Brendan Marino outside shot. And now Chris Rathwell going to pay the price for setting up an assist here on this goal, as he'll get drilled up top, but that open space for Keegan Detweiler to walk in. Detweiler, 2 points in the period. Trying to see if we have shot totals here in-house. Don't see any as of yet, but 3-2 is the score for KW, who will start with a 10-second power play. Second period underway in St. Catharines as well. 5-2 the score there. Athletics leading the Excelsiors, and Peterborough Burlington tied 3-3 after 1. Kean Pare going to contest this face-off against Joe Columbus. Pare pushes it ahead, runs back into it. Pare is going to head off instead of go to the net with that face-off stick. And Sunday looking for clear opening. Nailing John Hill, the hard pass on the near side, found Doug Thompson. Shot it wide, and now Joe Squire has to chase the loose ball down to the far boards. Up top, Thompson. Again to Sunday. Toe drag, shot. He ends up right in front of Richards after the shoulder save. Rebound went up out of play right at the tail end of the shot clock, so Arrows will have it back. On the run, Thompson to Dalen John Hill. Pick and roll here perhaps with Chaz Hill. It'll bounce wide, but right back to Snyder. Thompson. Chaz Hill dropped in the middle of that set. We'll get a cross-checking call here against KW. So right after killing off a penalty to start this period, they go right back to the box. Right there. The cross-check against Columbus. Turning Chaz Hill into a battering ram. Hodo Martin's going to take top spot. To his left, Jimerson. To his right, Dalen John Hill. Always got to be wary of where number 66 is. Down in the corner, Sunday. John Hill shoots from up top, and Richards keeping the rebound there in his crease. DeCiccio. Over center, little stop and start. Try and get past Dalton Kane. Dalton's older brother Logan, part of the 2007 Minto Cup Championship. Six Nations Arrows. 5 of those banners hanging here. Dalen John Hill back across. Oh! I think Richards came across in time. Made a spectacular save. Lowen Martin back the other way. Down low on Sugga Thompson, his first stop of the period. Halfway through the penalty, we got a big pile up over on the far boards. Trying to work for the ball. Ball carrier for KW in the middle of that. Barker trying to show everybody he's still got it. Jimerson eventually brings the fist up over the top, and the stall play called against KW. Kenny Porter. And dish off to Sunday. Bryson Sunday faking like he wants that low shot. Gives to Hodo Martin instead. Now Snyder. Quick stick, Squire. And Dalen John Hill. Squire wants it back. John Hill gets it instead. Off the corner boards as they were looking for Sunday. Barker brings it down. Took a couple whacks before Martin was able to slow it up. I mean, it's only the final few seconds here of the penalty. And Arrows 0 for 2 on the power play. Detweiler getting it back up top. Frattaroli, the twist shot. Rathwell recovered it back at the bench. A lot of coming and going, and you were lucky there that wasn't too many men in a hectic change over at the KW bench. Thompson backing into pressure. Jimerson will make space. Dalen John Hill to Chaz Hill. Nice little cut move through the middle, and Richard stands in to make the stop. Graham Crowder to the trailing DeCiccio. Thought he had a lane to the net, will pull it out instead. Malachi Good cross floor. Detweiler back to Barker, who cut his way in, and good shot on Thompson, but the rebound's headed back the other way with Porter. Off the bench, Squire, the big body, rumbles to the net and scores. Looked like Six Nations was going to score on their last possession, if not for this play from Zach Richards, who fully committed. He comes over and does make the save with the right arm. As Porter, I mean, once this train in Connolly Joe Squire gets rolling, there was no stopping that for the tying goal. Goaltenders took a chance to get water as Zach Richards makes his way back to the net. Part of that three-team trade last year, right at the deadline, and right at the deadline. I think it was a 10 p.m. trade call when the deadline was midnight. Zach Richards coming here to KW, Connor O'Toole, and others, including Dante Bowen. Bowie Horseman going to Orangeville. Marcus Medill to the Brampton Excelsiors. 8-second call here against KW. Will take the ball away. Tryson Sunday. That trade hasn't happened. Tryson Stewart quite comfortable in Whitby these days, I would say. Frattaroli from the outside boards, looking back for his captain Rathwell, in and out of his stick. Brennan looking to throw the screen, not needed as the shot comes in. Ended up out of play off the shoulder of Thompson. Brennan up top again, looking for Rathwell. He's going to find himself open on the crease. Good shot there, loose ball up for grabs. Marino can't hang on to it. Picked up by the Arrows. Dalton Kane.
0-4-5-5-4-2.
Back in front, Richards the stop. Chaz Hill going after the rebound behind the net. Battle won there by Lowen Martin. He'll clear it across center. Gets dumped from behind just inside the restraining line. Another penalty upcoming. I think John Vandergiesen's called all of them so far this evening. DeCiccio to the outside boards. Big high step from Malachi Good. DeCiccio fakes the shot and then rips off the helmet of Ben Wittich. He's going to head off, and we'll get the penalty call here. Meanwhile, the Burlington Blaze have taken a 4-3 lead up in Peterborough. Little shove in the back from Kenny Porter. Going to give KW their third power play of the game. Scored on opportunity number 2 back in that first period. Donnelly from the corner. Brennan through Rathwell. Donnelly back to the captain again. Into the corner for Brennan. He gets cleared out. Frateroli was alone on the crease as it's played back through to Donnelly. Shot comes from Brennan, doesn't leave the crease. And now Becker, trying to lead Wales Reset. Just out of his reach, and Caden Tapp will carry it back the other way. 6.5 gone in this second period. Minute 15 remaining in the power play. Donnelly going to quarterback it once more. Him and Rathwell sneak their way in towards the set. Now Donnelly back across to Brennan. Quick stick Malachi, good. Save made by Thompson. Rebound picked up by Aubrey Tallchief. Play call comes from Stu Montour. Tallchief had to pull the shoot. Now Sunday watches Dalen John Hill go across the top of the floor. Back to Sunday again. Hard pass in the direction of Thompson. Dug it down to Dalen John Hill. Skip shot there, heads up. One of the officials is now, it'll be Donnelly with 25 seconds left in the power play. 3-3 tie here at the ILA. We'll be back here next Wednesday when the Orangeville Northmen come in. 8 p.m. start time there as well if you're anywhere close. That'll be the one to watch. Malachi good, quick shot. Thompson the save. Rebound back to KW. Dying seconds. Frateroli almost ripped that shot. It's now Rathwell out of the corner to Frateroli. Pulls it back down, and Thompson catches it just as Porter returned to the floor. 1 for 3 the power play now for Kitchener-Waterloo tonight. Arrows firing 0 for 2. Porter cross to Jimerson, all by himself. Elects not to try and go to the net. Can't put it through Seth Martineau. Rolls all the way back. Jimerson, long bomb pass to Dalen John Hill. A rising shot. Goes off the glass, and Martin's taking off after it over center. Martin and Blaze Becker. Martin ran through the crease, as Becker was able to catch up, but not enough to disrupt the shot. Reset to Chaz Hill. To Douglas Thompson. In towards the corner, Sunday. Big head fake will carry it in. Carry not only the ball, but DeCiccio with him. That one went off a leg and ended up in the corner. Minute 10 away from the halfway mark. DeCiccio may have taken a high stick. Officials not going to oblige with a call. It's played down to Rathwell in the corner. Marino trying to finesse it through the middle. That hit off the defender. Now through Detweiler. Back up top. Outside shot. Frateroli scores. And we get sticks up at the side of the net. Believe KW may be going back to the power play after this goal. Just an outside shot from Frateroli. Told you that there's 5 players with double digits in goals. And I think something must have happened back in this end that was not called, that the Arrows are upset about, that they got a call back to our right. And indeed it is KW going to their 4th power play. Explanation given to the Arrows bench. And now one over on the side of Kitchener-Waterloo. Donnelly to start this latest power play. Goes to Rathwell, down from the corner, Brennan. Same way the last one started with Rathwell and Donnelly playing catch. Brennan coming in to throw the screen. Malachi Good cross floor. Bypasses Rathwell and then intercepted. Alfred lowered his shoulders. He came across center. Now Porter. Donnelly stuck out here. Porter will send it across. Dailing John Hill. Back to Jimerson. Now Snyder tripped up. Recovers. Shoots. Rebound to KW as they'll head it back with just about a minute left on the power play. Weinstein. Donnelly. Brennan. Frattaroli now. As this power play gets set up. Rathwell to Donnelly. Off top spot. Back across. Intercepted. Brought down by Blaze Becker. Looked like he was going to force transition. Tall Chief working on get it to the far side, and Brennan got his stick in the way. All the way down floor, DeCiccio cuts back past his man. Thompson forced into the tap dance routine and did make the save, but the rebound went up out of play. So for the final 25 seconds of this power play, KW still have it. Donnelly faking. Hard pass down to the corner. Rathwell and Brennan back up top to Donnelly. Good. Coming across the set to throw the screen now. Donnelly will shoot. Thompson makes the stop. Ball in the stick of Blaze Becker, wearing the captain C for this Arrows team this year. Power play expires. Sunday with the ball. He'll go cross to Hodo. Martin looks for a bouncer into the legs of Richards. And now up the boards, Graham Crowder. KW 1 for 4 with the man advantage here tonight. Brendan Marino to Donnelly through the middle on the run. Thompson the save. His sidearm pass finds Wales. Reset has a man coming off the bench. Reset shoots. Looked off Dalen John Hill. And Reset was on his wrong side. I don't think that's the shot that the Arrows were looking for. As Martin now brings it back. Lowen Martin and Dalton Kane slashing a few times. That was the battle as Kane went off. KW bench calling for another penalty as the stick comes high on Rathwell. Here's Kane. Puts on the brakes, passes back to Porter. Rebound bounced off his leg and sat dormant. Is a two-man takedown there by KW. The Dominoes routine from Cole Doherty. Takes the ball away. Hodo Martin to Snyder. Snyder bouncing back with it, shoots. Rebound goes straight to Hill, however. And now Hodo Martin, cross floor to Jimerson. Another penalty coming, this one to KW. Far side Hill will hang on to it, and like a caged animal, Douglas Thompson was raring to go as the extra attacker. They had to hold him back twice. Now the rip from Snyder resets the shot clock. Extended goalie outplay coming up here for the Arrows. It's Snyder shooting through traffic. He'll chase his own rebound off the end glass. Snyder to the corner, no look up top, Squire, and quick stick down low, Chaz Hill. Give him two in the game as this ball flew around the offensive end. Look at the penalty coming up first. And now here we'll get the goal. As that ball swung through the offensive set, 4 players touched it in about 2 seconds before it was in the back of the net. Doug Thompson to Joe Squire. The Chaz Hill with his second of the game. We're all tied up at 4. Meanwhile, in Peterborough, the Lakers storming back 8-5 now. They lead in the second, and St. Catharines Athletics all over Brampton 10-2 right now down at Canada Games Park. Minto Cup headed to St. Catharines this year, August 16th to 23rd. Single game tickets now available. Athletics will be there. One other spot here in Ontario to be determined. Big twist shot. Jeff Chosky will be a busy man over the next couple days. Again, the OJLL trade deadline coming up on Saturday. We'll be on air at 4 o'clock. Brampton Excelsior's Oakville Buzz. As Donnelly works it through to the far side. Rathwell spinning away from a high screen. Nicely played by Brennan after the pick went to the net. Turns around and Frateroli was open. Ben Wittich did well to stay with Brennan on that set as Brennan was waterbogged all the way through that entire 30 seconds. Here's Jimerson. Past the screen. Wants to return it to Doug Thompson. Hit the end boards instead. Thompson will get the shot. Dives and scores! Flight number 5 cleared for takeoff. And the lead for the Arrows. This one's a beauty. Doug Thompson's actually going to shoot this. Recovers it off the end boards. Gets his own rebound. And wow. Diving through the front of the crease. Spectacular goal from Doug Thompson. Look out here. That's going to be a crease violation. In the NLL, you can reach in, but if you're new to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, Kian Pare has to wait just a little more half second for that ball to roll out of the crease before he can pick up. DeCiccio down floor. Shot it off Thompson. Recovered back by KW. They'll go all the way up top for, Detweiler. Rips it off the helmet of one of the Arrows defenders. Under 5 to play here in this second period. Over the top on the run, sidearm. That was Marino on Thompson. Down floor, Wales reset. This time will give off to Dalen John Hill. Bounced away. Hill coming back after the loose ball with force. Kitchener-Waterloo able to recover though. Seth Martineau. Turns back away from pressure. Donnelly. To Brennan. Outside Rathwell. Back to Frateroli, who brings it down and draws the holding call. KW headed back to the power play. This is what Frateroli can do, the big body. And yes, there's an outside shot in that stick as well, but the extra moves, those of what have been getting the Arrows in trouble here tonight. 5th power play of the game for KW. Only one has found the back of the net so far. Frateroli in the corner. Up top with Rathwell, they exchange. Now the screen comes from Brennan. Rathwell's shot kept in the crease, or maybe not. As Mark Smith said, it came out for the back-in call against Six Nations. Frateroli. Back to the corner, Donnelly. Up top, Rathwell. Matching scissor screens. Up top, Nolan Barker with Frateroli now again. Donnelly, Frateroli, all the way up top. Barker back down to the crease. Rathwell had to pick it off the turf and does in time to shoot and score. Another good dose of ball movement here on this power play. Rathwell with the screen. And then gets himself back in position for the Donnelly pass. Donnelly with 3 assists now off the 5 KW goals. 3 points as well for Rathwell. That's his first. All 5 goals coming off 5 different sticks. DeCiccio trying to make it 6. And not that time as Thompson covers up. 5-5 here, closing in on 3 minutes left to go in the second period. Dalton Kane off the bench. Here's Thompson. Last time down this end. That spectacular flying goal. Dalen John Hill from the outside, not going to be allowed to shoot. Had it bounce off a defender right back to him. Jimerson with it now. Spins around, shoots through a defender. Rebound picked up. Dalen John Hill thought about the bouncer through the legs, it looked like. Will now get it down again. He has not been allowed to shoot from the outside here tonight. Thompson. Rebound to Jimerson. No room for him to shoot as he was dealing with Martin. DeCiccio with a man out the front door. And Keegan Detweiler shot it off the arm of Thompson. Heads up here. Big hit coming from DeCiccio. He ran in on Tristan Garlow. Garlow will find Sunday. We'll pull it across the line down to Noah Snyder. Flip pass, far side of the crease. Chaz Hill, Hodo Martin. Back out here to Snyder again. He's headed to the crease. Same flight path, but different result. As now KW, a couple passes to get it up past center. Graham Crowder. We go inside the 2-minute warning. Neither team took timeout in that first period. So they'll have a pocket full with Frateroli going back down the boards. Bit of a stumble there from Marino. Kept his balance on the run. The shot skips off the end boards from Frateroli. Not quite to center for Brennan. The shot clock does sound against KW. Dalton Kane. To Thompson. Outside, Jimerson. Last one off the bench, Hodo Martin. Jimerson with it again. Round a screen, low shot. That smacks off somebody's leg. Comes right back to the restraining line over the shoulder now from Doug Thompson. That one intercepted. Drayton Weinstein. Clears the timeline into the last minute here in the second period. Donnelly to Frateroli coming across. Donnelly shoots from the outside with about 45 left as KW go 2 for 1. Now Wales reset. Trying to force. Sunday cuts back on his defender and scores after drawing the penalty. Trison Sunday. A little stutter step move on the near side. Thought he was by here. I think going to be a high stick, but either way, Sunday looked back to see if the call was against him, perhaps for a crease. Breaks the tie yet again, 6-5 for the Arrows. 29.1. Whoever wins this faceoff will likely call timeout. Columbus crouching in. Pushes that ahead of Pare and does indeed ask for the break. First one of the game for either side. and will likely bring Zach Richards to the bench. Off the moving screen call, here's a look at Tryson Sunday. His work from the far side. Chaz Hill, who's got a pair of goals here in this game. Peterborough Lakers continue to pour it on at home against Burlington. They've now scored 7 in the second period and lead 10-5. Here's that quick stick from Chaz Hill. His second. Still 10-2. That's got to be at the break in St. Catharines over Brampton. And 6-5 the score here, despite what the online scoring has to say. Sticks are out on the KW bench as the Arrows get set. It'll be Donnelly out to the boards. Malachi Good on the near crease. Frateroli and Rathwell up high. Brennan. And I believe that's Nolan Barker down in the far corner. Frateroli now will slowly walk it back up to the restraining line. Clock hits 7. Here comes the play. Donnelly to the outside. Rathwell trying to cut his way back in front. Did get the shot off. Thompson the save, and Alfred can't get the shot out of the crease, which will end 2 periods here at the ILA. 6-5. The Arrows leading on top of Kitchener-Waterloo. Our next game action comes for you on Saturday. It is a 4 p.m. start time at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Oakville Buzz hosting the Brampton Excelsiors. Then we're back here on Wednesday evening. The Arrows will welcome the Orangeville Northmen. Think of all the battles that those two teams have had over the years. By that time, that could be the top 2 teams in the league facing off and doing battle. An 8 p.m. start time there as well. Be sure you subscribe to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube page if you like the video and share it. The algorithms will be more apt to send things like this your way into your feed. Teams will head off the floor. We'll take a break ourselves. 6-5, the Arrows lead after 2. Big 20 coming up here on the featured game of the week in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back live at the ILA where the Arrows lead 6-5. Good transition goal here from Joe Squire to get things started in that period. KW would respond, however, an outside shot from Max Frateroli, his first of the game, if you can believe that. Normally up to about 2 or 3 by now. But then ball movement here ends up on the stick of Chaz Hill. He'll score his second. And then the Arrows getting another one. This is a beauty here from Douglas Thompson. Taking flight. Everybody looking back at the official to make sure that one's good. And Kevin Werbeski says, yes, it is. KW on the power play. This one the tail end of a power play, if I remember correctly. And Rathwell shoots from the outside. That made them 2 for 5 through 2 periods. Here's Tryson Sunday. Works his way through and scores top corner. Another one that was close to the crease but counts to make it 6-5 here for the Six Nations Arrows. A look at your standings once again. Second-seeded Arrows, 7th-seeded Kitchener-Waterloo. Again, Peterborough are in action tonight. And the Athletics, there could be movement there in the 5-6. Burlington, they're down 10-5 right now. Cody Ennis with 4 of the 5 goals for Burlington, and then 12-2 off the heels of a 7-0 period. St. Catharines over Brampton. So St. Catharines, Peterborough, Kitchener-Waterloo, 5, 6, and 7, with 2 games separating all 3 of those, all in action on the same night. And by the way, Jamison Bucktooth 4 goals in that Athletics game. KW carries this in towards the corners. They'll get the first possession here of our third and final regulation time period. Rathwell through Brennan. Frateroli to the outside, trailing Detweiler. He'll shoot for the 5-hole on Thompson, and that was all covered up by pads and stick. Hodo Martin jogs his way into the play. All the way over the top. Back there looking for Thompson, and as he tried to return it to Joe Squire, it was intercepted by Weinstein. Barker. Pass to check. Malachi Good now going to circle the crease as Donnelly's on the run. Sidearm there. Looked like it was going to fool Thompson. Caught up in his gear. Dalton Kane. Trailer is Dalen John Hill. He'll move it down the boards to the high-stepping Chaz Hill on hat-trick watch. To the outside. Big pile-up in the middle. Chaz Hill does indeed shoot low. It skirts out the back door. Six Nations bench calling for a back-in call. Not going to get it. Rathwell. Back through Frateroli. Donnelly, a bit of a give and go. Marino can't return the pass though. It's Brennan from the outside, shoots over a ducking Aubrey Tall Chief. Porter out of the crease. Will give to Joe Squire. Just about 400 live viewers here from the corner. Thompson headed to the crease again. Ball bounced off Richards. He thought it was in his pads. It's in the corner. Seth Martineau back in there. Seems like the first game in weeks where we haven't gone up against the Stanley Cup Finals. Tap. Does clear center. Got that pass from Graham Crowder. Detweiler took a hard hit from 2 players on the near boards after passing to the far side. Malachi Good. Ball was out of his stick. Picked up by the running Frateroli, and off to his right to make the save, Sugga Thompson. Dalton Kane leaves here for Chaz Hill. Official Werbeski looked like he was paying attention to his leg. The bouncer far side from Jimerson hits the end boards. Jimerson's second chance makes it count. McKay Jimerson equaling the largest lead by either team here tonight, 7-5. So he'll just back up and fire from the outside. Jimerson's first of the game, another player you would expect to have a couple by this point. Chaz Hill, Trison Sunday, the only players in the game to have multiple goals. 5 players have combined for 7 for the Arrows. And 5 from 5 on the side of KW, over the top. Shot coming as it was taken by Noah Snyder. Doherty inside the mid-floor mark. Rathwell. Frateroli. Malachi Good trailing. He'll put it in the corner to Donnelly. Halfway through the shot clock now, 10. As it was ripped there from Frateroli. Was hit by a pair of players. This one will go the length of the floor. Shot clock is reset now. As that was coming off the rebound. Brennan. Big high step. Passes far side. Frateroli. Another shot. Also hung on to by Thompson. As now Tall Chief postures up one-on-one with Rathwell. Gives to Chaz Hill as Rathwell gave up that fight fairly easily. Hill to Hodo Martin. Here to Sunday. Behind his back, return pass for Martin. Fired it right into the midsection of one of the defenders standing in front of the net. Tap. One-on-one with Sunday as he brings it back into the attacking zone. And one of those chops from Sunday was able to knock it free. Kicked back over the line. No over and back as Marino chases it. Had Dalton Kane on him as Detweiler eats a high stick, and that'll be a penalty against Kian Pare. Donnelly working it through, and no time on the shot clock for a rip from the outside. See if the officials decide to talk about this one. I think Mark Smith is going to let Kevin Werbeski handle it. Only 2 going up on the board. A high stick, just catching the tail end of it right there. And I think Detweiler got his own stick in the way, which may have eased some of the damage. How about 6 power plays tonight for Kitchener-Waterloo? Came in 2 for 5. Donnelly to Marino behind the net. Rathwell to Brennan. Quick stick intended for the man on the far side. It's back to Donnelly. Quick turn and fire. Frateroli, where's the ball? Thompson asking the same question in his gear somewhere. Wales reset. Up to center. Took a couple checks, and then the last one knocked him down. Ball was already free in the stick of Doherty. Rathwell now will wait for the rest of the power play unit. You can't laugh at me and eat a chicken wrap at the same time. Donnelly from Rathwell, outside sidearm, handled by Thompson. Kenny Porter. Doug Thompson will try to kill with 50 seconds left to go. Dalen John Hill leaves for Hodo Martin. Don't need to shoot here. Killing time is more important, but there is only 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Thompson turns and scores. But hey, if you can get one, why not? 8-5, largest lead for either team here this evening. A shorthanded goal from Doug Thompson. Noah Snyder will pick up his third assist as Thompson makes it 8-5 with 30 seconds left to go in Pare's high sticking minor. Aubrey Tallchief to face off against Columbus. That would normally be Pare, except for he was in the box. Lowen Martin. Back to center, Brennan. Rathwell, power play sets up again. Rathwell to Brennan, a couple fakes before shooting. A bouncer. That was just wide of the net. Corey Bomberry fired that ball across. I think he wanted Kenny Porter to start the counterattack. Outside Sunday. Martin. And Sunday high again off the glass. That one was well high, perhaps intentional, but end result is Ryder Haynes down floor, but by himself, so he'll wait for Marino and company. Rathwell. Pare back out there. Power play for Kitchener, 2 for 6 here tonight. Posturing up, big shot from Detweiler. On a line to Ben Wittich. Snyder. Hidden ball played. Dalen John Hill has it on the near side. He'll fire it back to Snyder, who's trying to duck and get past Cap. To Thompson. Hat-trick watch in effect for Doug Thompson tonight. Same story, Chaz Hill. Hodo Martin back to Chaz Hill. Minute and a half away from the midway mark of this final regulation time period. Through traffic. Intended for a cutting Snyder. That hit off Hill. Going to roll right back to Martin and can't quite pick up. It's in the crease. And now back the other way. Third period underway in St. Catharines and Peterborough. As cutting through the middle. Pacicio shot saved. 12-2 still St. Catharines over top of Brampton. And 11-7 now Peterborough. A lead over Burlington came from behind the other day. What a gutsy performance from Sam Forbes on Father's Day. Graduating goaltender. Spinning, firing, scoring, Dalen John Hill. Been waiting for it all game long, and he's finally found the back of the net. And the run is on here for the Arrows. As they've now scored the last 4 here in the game. 9-5 is the lead, nearing the halfway mark of the period. Sugga Thompson taking a quick water break. Pare back to the dot to face off against Columbus. Face off handled by KW. Doherty off the bench. Berger waiting for it. Detweiler will take it in, and Berger heads off. Detweiler in by himself, facing 2 Arrows defenders. Now he's going to face 4 of them all by himself, and pretty much the result you'd expect from that is Porter runs away with the ball. Hodo Martin inside the back half now of this third period. Martin up top to Hill. Outside, a lot of room here for Snyder. Got a tug. Ended up in the crease. Tap. Rathwell. That is stolen from Hodo Martin. And in behind everybody is Aubrey Tallchief. Walking in shoots. That's off Richards. Rebound goes the way of KW though. Back up towards center. Out of the reach of Donnelly. Tall Chief has it again. This time the KW defense came streaming off that bench. Dalen John Hill. Bouncer to the far side. Pass intended for Snyder. Got away from him. He was busy lamenting and then decided he should probably run after it because Joe Columbus was doing the same. Columbus to Rathwell. Marino. Continues to work far side with Malachi Good. Rathwell to the crease. Good. Bouncer out of the corner. Donnelly sending it back to Good again on the run, and this one wide as well. Malachi Good starting his career in Oakville. Picked up an early trade. Amos Whitcomb going back the other way for his final couple Junior A seasons a few years ago, and trade that's actually worked out well for both sides. I think both would agree. Over the shoulder. Oh, that would have been pretty from Sunday as the ball landed at his feet. Seth Martineau. The big man puts on the brakes, starts and stops. Can't beat Hodo Martin, who then blocks it. That's 3 in the last couple minutes from Hodo Martin. Under 8 to go. Dalen John Hill. By the way, Sam Forbes not starting tonight in that Burlington game. Talked about graduating goaltenders. Zach Richards, one of them. Sam Forbes, another. Don't know anything, haven't heard anything officially, but they are quite the commodity as the trade deadline approaches. KW straight up the center. Marino trailing the play. Here's Brennan. That bouncer didn't miss the left side by much, and rebound, however, does bounce up and into the penalty box. 9-5, the Arrows. Scored the last 4 here. Jimerson flipping to Chaz Hill. Took a bit for KW to realize he had it. Up top, Hodo Martin. And Richards was awares and was able to make the catch. Martin knocks down his man. It's Tapp who goes down awkwardly and is still down on the boards. We'll get a stoppage. Hodo Martin even looked up at the official to see if he was going to get a call or not. Tapp has got his own footing under him. Goes off holding that left side right, looks like at the base of the kidney pads. Don't look now, but the Blaze forced overtime on that Father's Day game. Trailing just 11-8 now. They've put together a 3-1 period. And as you look at the collision right at the base of your screen there. 12-3 showing. St. Catharines on top of Brampton, so looks like the Athletics are going to pick up another win. They've only got, I think, 2 more home games the rest of the season. Meanwhile, KW are in a stretch of 2 of 5 away, as here's another goal from the Arrows at the side of the crease. I think they finally got the hidden ball play to work. Hidden ball play because there's too many guys in the way. McKay Jimerson, long way from his correct side of the floor. Joe Squire, bit of a rough start to this one. now has 4 assists in the game, and we got a new goaltender. Bryce Wismer coming into the net of KW. Clean face-off win by Columbus. He'll pass it off here. Big swim move. Part of a 2 of 5 stretch away from Kitchener's Auditorium is this KW squad. They'll play their last 6 at home. Low shot handled by Thompson. Meanwhile, the Arrows will play 3 straight at home. KW Oakville on Sunday, and then Orangeville. We'll have that game for you next week. Chaz Hill. Out to the far side, low shot. That skipped off the turf and went wide. Races on for it. Haynes got there first but couldn't pick it up cleanly, and then cross-checked down by Sunday. Position recovered though by Marino. Trailing the play. Here is Frateroli out in front. Brennan, and Thompson stands tall. Still waiting for that anytime goal bet to cash in. Someone in the chat, but not for a lack of trying. That was probably the best opportunity, if not for Sugga Thompson. Big high step outside. Dougga Thompson, hat trick. Big high step, and they're pouring it on now are the Six Nations Arrows. Snyder's going to clear out. And just a hard shot there from Dougga Thompson. After Bryce Wismer, pardon me, just entered the game. Ball down for Columbus again. He'll take a hit. Brother Bo listed as an assistant coach of this KW team. He was near automatic at the face-off dot when he played here in KW. Joe following in those footsteps. Here's Rathwell. Spun around, forgot to take the ball with him. He'll bounce it to the far side. Donnelly, low shot. Thompson down to meet it. And let me tell you, Sugga Thompson, a couple times we've seen him play this year, has been great. Ethan Robertson has been great for some time in this league. Quite the 1-2 punch as the Arrows get ready for the playoffs, and they do it with a Chaz Hill hat trick. Great finish here on the run. Hill nowhere near this play until he cuts back from behind the net. And on this run, Noah Snyder has 4 assists, as it's now jumped up to 12-5 for the Arrows with 4 minutes left to go. Becker knocked down off the face-off, still trying to dig it out. Can eventually bounce right to Berger. Double team in Reset and Pare, about to go to work again. Berger able to sidestep those two. Carrying it still again. Just inside center. New long bomb down towards the corner. 7-goal lead. Arrows have continued to stretch this one out. Detweiler passes back in the direction of Brennan. Tristan Garlow. Cross center. Flips it back now to Hodo Martin as we close in on 3 minutes left to go in regulation time. Joe Squire walking in his shot. Wismer the save. Weinstein to Rathwell. Little stutter step before he gives to Marino. Back from Malachi Good. Rathwell can't find him with a return pass. It's knocked down. And Lewis Alfred takes a chop as he comes across center. Alfred Jr. still with it. Goes through Jimerson to Dalen John Hill. Now to the far side. Snyder. Big high step. Dalen John Hill. This is Noah Snyder. That low shot, Wismer did well to come to the top of the crease and meet it. Columbus out defensively. Bounces it back to Barker. Brennan. Senses a lane. He's going to circle the crease now with under 10 to shoot. Back up top for Donnelly. Did let it go, but Thompson the save. Collision coming. And I guess interference called there on Donnelly. Despite the fact that Tristan Garlow had the ball. Chaz Hill inside the 2-minute warning. Dalen John Hill from the outside snipes again. My goodness. Shooting gallery open for business here in the third quarter. Dalen John Hill. Wow. Sidearm right into the top corner. 7 goals here in the period for the Arrows. Stretch that lead that was 6-5 coming out of the break to now 13-5. And Sugga Thompson has held the KW offense, which really haven't had a whole ton of opportunities down to our left. I think it has to be said. Held them in check when they have come down.
Assisted by number 93, Cassie Hill, number 79, Noah Squire. Top goal, 141.
Joe Squire's 5th assist. As we come into the last minute of play. Real showing here in this third period by this Arrows team. Feel like we've been calling them a young Arrows team for a number of years, but now getting to the point where starting to think they might be an actual force for real. Gotta say, this league's better when the Arrows are good as well. Out from the outside, a shot there from Jimerson. And if you talk to Stu Montour and company, Cody Jamieson, they've sort of been building since the league returned in the bubble season of 2021. They had a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-olds come into that tournament. And we're looking for a few years down the road. Well, this is a few years down the road, and the arrival is here of the Six Nations Arrows. So if you're a fan of teams like Brampton and Oakville, look no further than this team. One final hit from Lewis Alfred comes on his own man, but right at the horn, a 13-5 win for the Six Nations Arrows, and statement made here at home tonight against a KW team that we're talking as if they were going to keep their name in the standings. What does that do for conversations on the phone as we head towards a trade deadline on Saturday? That's our next broadcast. It's Brampton in Oakville, a 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Be sure you subscribe to the OJLL YouTube channel. Layla, thank you so much for watching. Our producer tonight was Gary Morrison, our director Rachel Wolf. For the JVI Sports Network and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, my name is Matthew Carrick. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you on Saturday.